Hi everyone, it's Jung here for Hip Kit Club. Today I'm sharing a layout that I created using the October 2019 Hip Kits. I was challenged to use the main kit, used punches, and add some stitching on my layout. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so when I saw this Amy Tangerine paper, I thought it would be cool to use my punches and to split the colors up and create my own little rainbow across my layout. And I was just showing you that I fussy cut some of the trees from this pink paisley Paige Evans pattern paper, but I don't actually end up using any of the trees, but that's what I was showing you. And so now I'm going to be using my paper trimmer and separating the colored strips. And because it was in a chevron pattern, I had to cut it down the middle, and I'm just going to trim the ends and piece them together so it looks like one long strip. And you'll see what I'm talking about a little bit later in the video. So I just pulled out some border punches from my stash. They're pretty old. The white one and the mint green one are from Martha Stewart's Crafts. I'm pretty sure you can't get these anymore. And the blue ones are from Friskers. You might be able to find those. So I'm going to make sure to use the same border punch for the same colors, since I am going to piece them together. And then I decided that I should probably lay out the colors in the order that I'm going to put them on my layout, just so I don't punch two colors that are next to each other with the same border punch. Since there isn't a green in the Amy Tangerine pattern paper, I'm going to use the back of this Paige Evans pattern paper and just pull a few strips of green. I also want to add a purple at the bottom, but the strips of purple that came from the Amy Tangerine paper were a little too small, so I end up using a piece of purple cardstock, and you'll see that here later. And here are all my pattern paper strips punched out. I'm going to set those aside and then work on my background a little bit. I'm just going to be using some white cardstock, and I'm going to be using some of these shimmer sprays. They are all from past color kits, and I just chose some coordinating colors, and I'm going to sprinkle it on the background kind of in rainbow order, just like the pattern paper strips will be. It's taken me a little longer to splatter on the paper because I'm trying to be mindful of where I put the color. I know I want to go in rainbow order and kind of have strips of the splatter in different colors. Okay, now that my background is dry, I'm just going to loosely place the colors on my background. As you can see, I trimmed down the edges. They were kind of in an angle because it was a chevron pattern, if you remember. And then some of the colors, I'm just going to use one strip. I just want it to kind of look random and but yet balanced, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to loosely place them, and then I took it off camera. This is the next day, and I added some machine stitching, and I used thread in the same color as the pattern paper strips. You can also see that I added a piece of purple cardstock that I used a border punch on, and that way my rainbow is complete with all the colors. Right now I'm just using some tweezers to fluff up the edges, and that way it adds some texture and dimension. And I just really love how that is looking. Here are the photos that I will be using. It's of my middle daughter. She had picture day that day, and she looked super cute. And we also had art night, and she showed me where her picture was hung, and it is a monochromatic self-portrait, and they got to use whichever materials they wanted. And I believe she used markers, and she chose the color purple, and I just think it's really cute. Alright, so I've pulled out a couple of things that I thought might work. I'm trying to decide on a title, and obviously I had forgotten that I was supposed to be using the main kit, and so I pulled out my gold thickers, and I was gonna see if this looked good, but I also wanted to see if these black letters would look good. And sometimes when I can't decide, I take a picture of each of them and then I look at the picture, and that kind of helps me decide which I like best. And I ended up choosing this black block font. I really thought it went with the school theme, and I like how bold it is, and it worked out because these black puffy stickers are part of the main kit. So since my border punched pattern papers are fluffed up, I needed to use some foam tape to adhere my photos to the background, which I probably would have done anyway. Also, I had backed my pictures with journaling cards from the Project Life kit, and obviously I had forgotten that I was supposed to just use the main kit, but they're just so minimal, I could have used pattern paper for that. Okay, now that my photos are attached and my title is on there, I can start to embellish the layout. I don't want to do too much embellishing because I don't want to take away from the pattern paper strips, but I do want to add a couple of things. This label is actually from the Pretty Little Studio ephemera pack, and that's from the Project Life kit. Again, I had completely forgot while I was making this layout that I was supposed to use the main kit only, but I only use a couple of pieces, so I hope you will forgive me. And I added the date, and I'm going to add that to the left of my photo. I thought about putting this tab with the heart in it, as well as a punched piece of pattern paper at the top, but I decided not to because the rainbow order would kind of be messed up. And so I'm just looking through what else I could add on my layout, and I'm kind of going for a tone-on-tone effect. I'm going to add some of my journaling strips, and I'll just put them in randomly. It just says Ellie, 3rd grade, and the initials of her school, and it says monochromatic self-portrait, and it also says she is her own muse, which is a quote that I found on Pinterest. I really love this little art project. I think it's so different that she did a self-portrait, and I know in the picture it looks big, but the self-portrait drawing is maybe this 4x6 size, and I love how they made it monochromatic to elevate it one more step. I'm going to go ahead and adhere the journaling strips on just so I leave myself enough room before I do the embellishing. I'm going to use quite a few of these Hip Kit Club exclusive chipboard stickers. I'm going to be using that cute little bow, and then I use a few of the flowers and the hearts. And my camera battery ended up dying, and I didn't notice while I was pushing around these pieces of chipboard. I haven't adhered them yet, but this is what I end up with. Again, I tried to keep with a monochromatic theme. So this is how it's looking after I attached everything. I used a couple of puffy stickers. Those are Hip Kit Club exclusive also, but they are not part of the main kit. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you like my layout. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Hip Kit Club YouTube channel. I will leave all kinds of links in the info bar below. Again, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye.